Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello to everyone. As you can see, me and my team will present about Syariah compliance on goods and service in halal industry. But before that, I will introduce our presenter today. So, my name is AZRA ARIFAH binti ROSLAN and another presenter NURUL NAZIHAH, FATIHAH and NAJIHA. So, the content of this topic is what is Syariah compliance? Second, the concept of halal and Islamic marketing. Then, Muslim consumer preference on goods and service. Fourth, related between Syariah compliance and marketing. And lastly, some issues that are related. The halal industry is gradually growing and gaining attention among the global participants. The industrial equipment is integrated into all sectors, making it an attractive place for business to invest as opportunities are endless. As it gets more popular and visible among the globe, the halal industry is expected to continue on this course. So, in order to create a large halal market in the global market, people must be aware of the benefit of halal product, good and service. Furthermore, people must be considered in many aspects that have become an obstacle to a successful business in promoting halal product, good and service in order to establish a strong halal industry in the country. So, it is important to provide a widespread awareness of halal product, good and service so that consumers are aware of the benefits that can be obtained from using halal product, good and service.
So next is, what is Sharia compliance? The term Sharia compliance is used in Islamic finance, which refers in financial product, services, activities, and must comply according to Islamic law. As we already know, it is a very important thing in our life, and all things related must be based on Sharia compliance. And we know that Sharia compliance only used in Islam, and we must abide it as a Muslim. For example, it also happened in Islamic bank, which they also refers to Sharia compliance unless there is a clear prohibition stated that is not allowed, so we can follow it. Sharia requirements are required to ensure the authenticity of Islamic financial product and services. By the Islamic perspective, Islamic financial also must be confirmed by the Sharia and must be within the scope of Islamic principle. Besides, they also refer based on Quran and Sunnah, which is the first principle in Islam. So next, I will explain about the concept halal and Islamic marketing. Halal has become a symbol of undoubted suitability in trade dealings with Muslims. Halal also indicates not being in contact with impurity things from a Sharia perspective, which is if has a haram things or prohibited thing that have been stated in the Quran, which is it is not allowed in Islam. Whether it is in the production or in the processing, in the preparation and storage process, it is prohibited. It is not halal. The development of halal industry in Malaysia shows great potential in terms of increasing profit through business opportunities. This is also a challenge in business, which Malaysia is a country that is highly regarded by other Islamic countries. The development of successful Malaysia is in the international halal market has raised Malaysia's name, especially in the food sector. Islamic marketing also meets through halal product and service with the consent and well-being of buyers and sellers. In Islamic marketing, there are halal product and service to customer. That is by providing service which they must always accepting each other opinions or agreement that have been made between buyers and sellers. Muslims around the world have ensured that they consume halal product and service by asking about the ingredients. With this, they can avoid halal product and service that is not suitable for them, and they can consume the halal product and services.
Today's consumers are more worried about halal issue and they want the final product to be healthy to eat. For that reason, halal product, good and service that are well managed have resulted in massive benefit for consumer. Not just that, halal products are not just for Muslim entrepreneur or consumer only, but non-Muslim companies are also involved in producing halal product due to business demand. Consumers have gained several benefits from well-managed halal product, goods and service. This is also in line with Islamic teaching, which also state that halal industry should apply in all aspects of life, including food and drinks, as well as source of income and the product that we use. Okay, now, firstly, in order to consume and produce food, beverage and goods, Islam requires certain types of norm and adab. In Islam, the Muslim consumer is aware of Islamic norm which guide his action. On the other hand, he must decide how much his money should be spent on worldly needs and how much should be spent in Allah's service, or as we know as infaq fi sabilillah, because many Quranic verses encourage Muslim to invest in the way of Allah, and it is suggest for Muslim should be saved for future consumption. For the third point, Muslim must meet not only the needs of their hierarchy, especially daruriyat, but also halal requirements. It can be concluded that consuming halal food and avoiding prohibited product of food would allow to Muslim to consume. Lastly, unfair marketing activities and their consequences in purpose of profit maximum would result in oppression, corruption and repression. So now, the principles that guide Muslim consumer are already mentioned in the Quran and Hadith. For example, they are mentioned in the Quran such as avoid consumption of harmful goods. The Quran said in Surah Ma'idah, verse 90, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu innamal khamru wal maisir wal ansab wal azlam rijsum min amali syaitan fajtanibuhu la'allakum tuflihun. Which is its meaning, O you who have believed, indeed intoxicants, gambling, sacrificing on stone altars to other than Allah, and divining errors are but defilement from the work of Satan. So avoid it that you may be successful.
Okay, hi. Next, we will go to the influence of Sharia compliance in good service and marketing. Okay. Similarly, when firms operate in Muslim nations, they must function in a planned and strategic manner in accordance with Islam. Okay. Next, we will go to the section price. Prophet Muhammad SAW sold his item at a price that the market could bear. He achieved his profit based on sale volumes by employing a cost leadership approach that was deemed effective, since it allowed him to penetrate all market sectors at the same price. It was not permitted to charge an unusually high price or to reduce the price with the intent of causing a rival to lose money. Action of placing, penempatan. Okay. When it came to placement, Prophet Muhammad SAW forbade the conduct of monopoly. According to Islamic teachings, distribution system should not impose a cost on the ultimate client in the form of increased costs or delays. Next, which is section promotion. Companies are investing much on commercial to market their products according to current trends. Advertisement is a need in today's world, but it must be done correctly without exaggeration, simply precisely, and essential in terms of quality and substance. And for your information, Islam forbids over-promising and or the use of emotional sex appeal, romantic language, and partially cover young model ladies in advertising campaigns to market product. This is completely forbidden within the Islamic ethical framework. Okay, the next small topic, which is the influence of Sharia compliance on selling. Tadi marketing ni selling. Okay, first of all, the product to be sold should have some monetary worth, be precise, quantifiable, non-destructive, capable of ownership, and deliverable, and be in the seller's hand at the moment of the sale. So, barang yang kita nak jual tu mestilah ada nilai harga dia. Kualiti nilai dia, kualiti dia, benda yang kita boleh tahu berapa harga dia. Macam kalau kita nak jual pasir, macam mana kita nak jual pasir yang kita tak boleh nak kira, uncountable. Lepas tu boleh dimiliki ketika jualan tu dilakukan. Okay, the acquisition of stolen products is likewise prohibited under Islamic business ethics. Untuk kita mencuri dan juga kita menjual balik apa yang kita curi itu adalah haram dalam agama Islam.
Assalamualaikum. So now we in the related issues regarding the Sharia compliant with goods and services. Alright, let's see to the formation of the Sharia compliant in hotel industry. Okay, the meaning of Sharia compliant hotel is a hotel that adhere to the Sharia requirement according to Islamic teaching in hotel management, services, goods and more. Alright, a Sharia compliant is a hotel that meets the needs of the Muslim based on the Sharia laws that a hotel normally use certain standard and law to certify the requirements provided to achieve Sharia compliance. Next, we can see the demand for the Sharia compliant hotel among the tourists. The tourists want hospitality that honor their religion as the demand for the Islamic hotel. As a result, the demand has fallen dramatically from the Middle East in the UK and US and have moved to another Muslim countries such as Malaysia. So it was discovered that there was sudden realization among the key developers in Dubai and Middle Eastern countries as the hotel and hospitality in Arabia highlight and promotes the Islamic tourism purely based on the Islamic culture. So the concept of hotel, the first, no alcohol permitted in every premise. The second one is halal foods. The third one is Quran, prayer mats and arrows indicate the direction of the Mecca in every room. Even the beds and the toilet must not in the direction of the Mecca. So now we can see the challenge for the Sharia compliant hotels globally face the challenge due to implementation Muslim friendly services because Muslim and non-Muslim have a different requirements. And the critical issue that we face is the total loss of the income from the alcoholic beverage that might affect the food and beverage profits. And the second one is the provision of the alcohol might decrease the number of the customer that only come to eat and dine at the hotel premise. And the last one is the hotelier might need to maximize their staff of both sexes and ensure the productivity and quantity and the quality of the service. The next one is the issues as the improvement of the Sharia committee. The Sharia committee is confronted with the difficulties in independence, the lack of confidence in their management, and the absence of the academy in Sharia and finance. And also there will be issue in inconsistent of decision. So there's are 4 questions that need to identify to the Sharia committee. Services that has been done by Sharia committee must be observed to avoid less cautious, because if he is not seasoned and only use his skill, then he wouldn't know the work of the depth. Last one is issue in Sharia compliant audit. The objective of Sharia compliant audit is to audit the regulation of the employees, structures and goods and services pre and after approval. So the concern have been raised about the competency of the individual in the Sharia board member that may seem have a lack of technical bankings and finance skill. So the lack of train as the Sharia board members may have caused a detrimental effect on Sharia governance and undermine public faith. Okay, so according to the record, the Sharia members consist of Muslim and non-Muslim will improve the competency and skill in delivering Sharia quality performance.
Last but not least, in conclusion, Sharia compliance is vital and negative consequence is not only impact to the marketing or service, but the most importantly, the effect is against command of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala and impediment Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala blessings.